But the reality is, the world is created with this godly power, chokhmah elokit. The drug that Lucy takes is the Torah. You learn Torah, you'll get this drug. And the more Torah you learn, the thing is that we know that tzaddikim are sitting in Gan Eden. It says Gemara very clearly, tzaddikim yoshvim v'atrotehem berasheihem, they have crowns on their head, and v'nehenim miziv hashchina. They enjoy this glory of Hashem. This is this drug. What are they enjoying? They see the code. They see this godly wisdom that creates the world. And how are they able to see it? Because they did mitzvot in this world. They learned Torah. This is the drug that allows them to see this chokhmah elokit, this godly wisdom. And this godly wisdom is this pleasure that there's no such a thing in this world. There's no such a pleasure in this world.
So because they do mitzvot, that's how they're connected?
The what?
So because they did mitzvot,
that's how you get connected with mitzvot. Torah is the mazon, is the food for the neshama to eat, but the mitzvot are the levushim, the garments that go around the neshama. Now, exactly the same way, imagine now you go out to the street and you look at the sun. You can't look at the sun. Within a split second, you get blinded. So what do? You put sunglasses that are very, very thick. Then you're able to kind of look at the sun. So the same thing in the neshama. Put the neshama in front of Hashem. It gets completely burnt. It gets annulled. So the neshama needs levushim, these garments, to kind of see some type of godly revelation. The more garments you have, the closer you can come to Hashem, the more revelation you get. So if you pack yourself with mitzvot, the more physical mitzvot you do, the greater you get closer to Hashem. So obviously the greater revelations you get. And Gan Eden is en-sfor madrigot. There's no limit to the levels in Gan Eden. It's separated in Gan Eden Tachton, Gan Eden Elyon, but there's en-sfor, unlimited amount of levels. And the more you worked in this well, the higher you climb. So what happens for the neshamot in Gan Eden? They sit in Gan Eden, and neshama ro'a et chaverta. She looks up and she sees the level that the other neshama is above it, and just by looking at that level, the neshama gets burnt because it can't sustain the kedusha. So the neshamot, they see what's going on, and then they understand. Wow, 5 more minutes with tzitzit, I would be up there. Wow, 1 more hour of this, I would be there. The neshama understands it. The neshama understands, wow, 1 hour of shiur Torah, where I would be. The neshama cannot hold it. So the neshama, in order for you to get more godly revelation, then you have to prepare in this world. You have to do mitzvot. The mitzvot does the levush for the neshama to get this godly light. And obviously the Torah is the mazon what the neshama feeds off. So that's why I said this investment, this 3 hours, you want to have as much as you can in this world, because this is like where you pack in all those jewelry and everything. That's the time, because once you leave the world, that's it. You're up there. Whatever you grabbed is yours. Whatever you didn't, you missed. That's why you have to take advantage of this world. Every second here is like an investment. Every second, you take another mitzvah. Within 1 hour, you can make 50 mitzvot. And that's the investment you come up to Shamayim. That's why when you internalize what it is, you're like, okay, why should I be now 2 hours on Facebook and waste my time? I can be 2 hours now in a shiur Torah. Why should I do this right now? I can do this. Why should I do this? I can do that.
Did you tell your parents about this, like after it happened? Or
No.
after Chicago told them?
For the first 2 years, I never told it to anyone. Nobody knew I'm religious. Now, you might not understand it, but the Israeli mind frame is, if you chozer b'tshuva in Israel, metoraf, you crazy, you...
Bro.
Yeah. So nobody knew for 2 years. I was very embarrassed.
Why is it like that in Israel, though? Why is it so hard for people to connect with Torah?
Because they hate religion. They feed them. When I grew up, they fed me this hate to religion. So when somebody decides to change his way, it's all the society, he lost his mind. Wishtagea.
So what did you...
So for 2 years, they didn't tell it to anyone.
You came back with a beard?
Family would come. No, but I lived in Chicago in the middle of nowhere. But family will come and visit me. I would go to the room, quietly put the tefillin on. Nobody will not put a long shirt on. I would go to a restaurant with my mom. She would be like, why aren't you ordering shrimps? No, my stomach hurts me. So I didn't tell anyone. After 2 years, I had already a little beard, and a family member came to visit me, and I was like, okay, I got to tell everybody. So I told everybody that I chazarti b'tshuva, that I became religious. Yeah. So I had a lot of problems. But Baruch Hashem, my family got it fine. First of all, I was like a real troublemaker. I was like my poor parents. So my father was like, if this is going to make a mensch out of you, then I'll accept it. How many times he had to come and bail me out? How many calls in the middle of the night, come and pick up your son? So he was like, if this is going to make a mensch out of you, I'm willing to take it. My mom, she was a little bit freaked out because she heard that people who become religious, they don't stay in touch with their family and all sorts of weird stories. But Baruch Hashem, they saw that I'm the same person, just with a long beard and same sense of humor, same jokes. And they saw I'm normal, so they're actually fine with it. But in the beginning, it was very hard for me to tell everybody.
The whole experience?
Yeah.
How did
It also
take
took
that?
time, and it was very hard to tell my mom, you listen, I went to a club, and I packed my bags with so many drugs that my body exploded, and so it was very hard for me to tell her.
You were tripping.
So no, she was crying her eyes out, but it was very hard to tell my mom this story.
Are they religious now?
My mom is my father is still, he's working on it.
And your father's the one who accepted you before you were around.
My father tells me all the time, I have you. When I go up there, I'll just tell them, you're my son.
I get
So
benefits.
I can't. In Hebrew it tells me, יש לי פרוטקציה. I have connections up there. So I told him, don't count on that, you know. They'll demand your own. He's like, no, I'll have you. I'll tell them I'm your father. So I have double responsibility now. But Baruch Hashem, they're much, much more. From where they were, Baruch Hashem. My sisters still need a little push. Matlaat, you know.
She got remarried?
My sister, Baruch Hashem, got remarried, a nice husband, have another son.